What's up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with your Melatonia podcast with another episode of the Species Spotlight, where I go through and I kind of just talk about the tarantulas in my own collection. Currently at 19 different species. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Poecilotheria Regalis. And I know I kind of butchered the first part of that name, but I'm just terrible at these scientific names. But the Regalis is like one of 16 different species of this, what we nicknamed the Pokies. The Regalis is one of these species that I really, really wanted outside of the Venezuelan sun tiger, which is not, of course, a Pokie, but still a very beautiful spider. It's one of two Pokies that I have in my collection. So I have a Regalis, which, of course, this is Mystique here. And then I also have a striata, a Mysore ornamental pokey in my collection. And I'm getting ready to get, I just ordered a Metallica, which is this one here, which is very, very beautiful, very sought after pokey and the hobby. So I'll be getting that in a couple days. Along with a freebie, which is just your standard New World Mexican rose gray that I'm getting. But yeah, so I do enjoy the pokies. The one, the Regalis here is an Indian ornamental tarantula, basically a tree spider. It's arboreal, likes to climb. It's native to southeastern India. It can get very large. In fact, I'm gonna play a little video. You can kind of just see what's going on with this thing here. Um, Females, obviously, much like the species of tarantula, can live to 12 to 15 years. Males are usually about 3 to 5. Uh, when it comes to the hobby, this is a species that you're going to want to be an advanced tarantula caretaker. This is an old world species, which means their venom is very potent, especially with this one. This one would rather flee and run away. Like they're very skittish, but they're very fast. So you don't really want to be trying to corner it or irritated to the point that it bites you. Like it's going to be very painful. It can make you sick. Um, Also, their temperament, like I said, they're not massively aggressive, but they are very fast. Even the one that I have, which is the juvie, it's not matured out yet. Very, very fast. You can see Dave's little beasties here. So he's rehousing his, which is much, much, much larger, but gorgeous markings. A lot like out of the 16 species, like I've always wondered how people can kind of tell the difference. Sometimes coloration plays a factor, but as you also see on the legs, the bands, there's like white bands. And so they differ from each of the pokies that are in the 16 species. So they might look alike in a lot of different ways, but there are subtle differences on the bands that will let you know which type of species that you're dealing with. Um, yeah, it's a very, very beautiful spider, one that I really, really love. And right now, they are fast growers. They do like to eat. I will not know what to do once mine gets to be that size, but it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, that's just so enormous. Now here is somebody who's decided that they're going to go ahead and look at it jump. Like you wouldn't think a spider that big is going to jump still, but she does. I mean, it's a gorgeous spider, but this is not recommended. You do not want to be handling these spiders. People will do it, which is their business, but high risk when you're dealing with these spiders. So I would not recommend holding them for any reason. The only time you really should be messing with tarantulas, in my opinion, is when you're rehousing them and just cleaning out their enclosures or whatever. Like there's really no reason to be hand on fondling because spiders don't have emotions. They can't attach to you in a certain way. They can probably get used to being handled in a sense that like, okay, I've kind of been here before, but it's not something they care about. And they would rather not be bothered at all. Like they just don't want to be bothered. So certainly I would never recommend holding pokey species at all. Any kind of, I mean, even my new worlds that I have, like they're not venomous to the point that they're going to hurt you, make you sick, but their fangs are big enough that it's going to hurt if they bite you and tag you, as they call it. So just it's a good practice not to handle tarantulas, other than if you actually have to do it. Like I've seen Dave where he's had a spider jump on him, like run up so fast on his arm that he can't really react, but he stays calm. You don't fucking freak out, and you don't, that's why you don't get bit and stuff like that. But not like those cases, you just don't want to be messing. Like even when Dave was moving his in that video, you know, he's got his hand on the bark. I mean, at any point that spider could have turned and ran up his arm, and even though he would know how to handle the situation, it's like, so he's even more confident doing that than I am. Like I'd rather just catch cup them, try to put them in there, and then let them go into their enclosure. And even then, it's not always a guarantee. I've had just the other day, my obsidian, my Hispodolian giant tarantula, like it came crawling out the top when I was giving him water, and started crawling all over the other enclosure inside the closet there. And like, so I had to go try to catch him, and it was kind of a pain in the ass because he was getting behind shit, and it's not a very big space to work with. So even then, like he's not a poisonous tarantula, or she, I'm not sure what sex it is yet, but even though it's not a poisonous species, like it's big enough to where if they want, and they are defensive, so he's one of those ones that are very defensive. So don't want to be messing with them and to get bit. Like it's just not a very comfortable feeling. So you have to be careful with this stuff like this. And these spiders are unpredictable sometimes. They're so fast when you least expect it, they're like, and so you have to like, oh shit. So you have to be careful with that stuff. So, but these are very, very cool spiders. A lot of people that are in the hobby eventually work their way up into having a pokey. Some people just dive right in, which, that's fine. I mean, I had I think it was the old Chilean rose many years ago for a few years. And keeping it then is a lot different how I keep them now. So like, I think back then, like, man, that spider must have been miserable because I was doing it the wrong way. But, learning through Dave's little beasties and stuff, how to do bioactive enclosures and stuff, and what they really want in terms of soil and hideaways, and how many crickets you're putting in there. It's a lot different. So when I restarted in 2019, I think it was about a year before I started diving into, I got my first OBT at that point. I got the Venezuelan sun tiger, which is still a new world, but it's one that does have significant venom. It's the only one it does. So I didn't take super long to jump into a more advanced species of spider, but that's because I felt comfortable doing that. And this is coming from somebody who actually was, arachnophobic. Like I do have a certain fear of spiders. So I like the fact that when I'm doing this hobby, that I can kind of get over that and learn about them a little bit and not be as fearful about them. They're very beautiful, very fun to take care of. They all kind of have their own personalities and how they behave. So much fun doing that. And this is a great hobby for me to be in. It's something for me to concentrate on and take care of creatures that, are fun. That's really what it comes down to. And they're all very beautiful. There's a lot of different species out there. Like I still want to get like a giant bird eater, or I really want one. I have a 100-gallon tank I could use, but until I'm ready, because I don't really have a place to put it, and like it's cooler in here than it would be in the room that they're in. So I don't have any room in there right now for anything like that. But these spiders are very, very fun, very beautiful to look at, and yeah, so highly recommended for advanced hobbyists to get into the pokies. I don't know if I'll ever have enough room to get all of them. My room's limited as it is right now, so I'm gonna have to chill out for a while, just because I just don't have any more room. Like even when I get these other two, they're gonna be smaller, so it's easier to handle. But once I get into larger and grow up, like it's gonna be like I'm gonna need more room and space for the spiders that I have. So yeah, a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this particular tarantula? You like it? Do you have some in your own hobby? Let me know. And thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. See you later.
before you die.